you're right that people inherently feel that they belong to different groups, and that the general media climate kind of suppresses that, tries to kind of just blur the lines, and we're all the same, and that stresses people out. That threatens their identity, their well-being, on the one hand. And then, Dr. Laitman, you say, but well, Jews have to actually connect people. Are those things at odds? Are we supposed to all be connected, or each group needs to have its own kind of territory, its own sovereignty?
So eventually all of us need to be connected. All of humanity, and by the way, that includes all the rest of the levels of nature, still vegetative, animate, and human. They all need to be one integrated system. This is something that general evolution is leading us towards. Like it or not, we're going to have to take on a shape that is round. This integral connection between all parts of nature is something that is closing in on us, and we become increasingly connected and interconnected among cultures and nationalities, even though we don't want it, because we're all inherently egoistic, but there's no choice. We're under a general plan of nature that pushes us to come together, whether we like it or not. And so what's happening with the Jews here, and I'm referring to the wisdom of Kabbalah, that the Jews themselves, most of them are not aware of. But the wisdom of Kabbalah possesses a method of human connection, of how to connect everyone together in a way that actually works for human society and nature. And then the negative conflicts will not take place. Every individual will be able to realize himself in a friendly way towards everyone else. This is something that exists deep in the wisdom of Kabbalah, in the method of human connection. And that's the problem here, that the people of Israel, the Jews themselves, they don't know what they've got. They don't know what they possess, and they don't know why they're hated. I agree. The nations of the world hate the Jews, and they're right. They have an instinct. They feel instinctively the Jews are not fulfilling a certain thing they need to be filling, a certain function they need to be doing in the world. They're doing the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing, and it shows through how they deal with commerce and banking and etc. and government power and all of that. It's totally not what they're supposed to be doing. So there is a problem here. It's a problem of explaining, first of all, to both Jews and non-Jews, what is the origin of the people of Israel and what is the historical, natural role that it has to fulfill. And this, at this point, I think that we may be able to find some mutual understanding with people who feel the criticism and who are openly, vocally critical about the people of Israel and the Jews. And maybe in that sort of mutual way, from both directions, we can try to show the Jews what they're supposed to be doing, how to fulfill their historical function, their role, and then the rest of the nations of the world will be able to understand that as well, and we can create a better human connection. Otherwise, we're not going to see peace in the world. We're not going to see any positive connection in the world. Hatred will only grow because the human egoism is always growing.
Professor MacDonald, what do you think?
I don't know much about Kabbalah at all. And my perspective has always been based on evolutionary biology, psychology. So, for example, just thinking about ancient Babylon, my understanding was that, and this is the part of my first book, was that Babylon conquered Israel and then took away the sort of upper echelons of the society. And that within Babylon, they remained separate. When they came back to Israel, I mean, the books of Ezra and Nehemiah make it very clear that they were very concerned that the people of Israel who'd been left behind had intermarried quite a bit. So there was a strong concern about the sort of genetic integrity of the group. And there certainly has been admixture with the various Jewish groups over historical time in Europe and everywhere. But there is a genetic core that's been revealed by population genetic research. So I do think that Israel and Jewish, traditional Jewish groups took great pains to wall themselves off from other people. I realize that one aspect of Jewish sort of religious thinking and ideology has always been the idea that Jews are a sort of light unto the nations, and I think that is what's coming out here. That Jews are should be a model of human understanding and human, getting together and not setting up barriers. I don't think that has been reflected in Jewish behavior over the centuries. In traditional Jewish societies in Europe and elsewhere have been strongly concerned to sort of wall themselves off